Okay, I think I have everything set up. Welcome to the stream, you guys. It's a bonus Heather stream, bonus birthday Heather stream that I wasn't expecting. Scapegoat, I wasn't expecting to hear Scapegoat. How you doing? Glad to be helpful. No, you're more than helpful. That was like when I seen that you had the TikTok live that I missed. I was like, oh my goodness. So I have that link to Scapegoat's TikTok is in the description. I'm going to pull it up on screen so you guys can see as well. So this is Scapegoat's TikTok. You should follow them for Heather stuff. I think they do some other stuff as well. But I super appreciate them. And they also shouted out me and BCG and Mama Bear chasing gossip in your highness. So I super appreciate that. And yeah, I got these videos. So it's like a stream. It's split up into 4 parts. And then there's also, she did a Facebook live today. That's like 11 minutes. So I have that. And then I'm going to show you guys, she did like a story of an update saying that she got a hotel. So someone got them a hotel. She should probably just go in the shelter. Like, people don't need to give her money. But then again, she's very stubborn. And I personally don't want any harm coming to that baby because Heather is a stubborn, silly lady. I'll say that. We're only like a minute and a half in. I won't be too mean. But yeah. Aunt Stacy here as well. BCG, how you doing? Famous Geminis. Is Anderson Cooper on there? Me and Anderson Cooper have the same birthday. He's not on there. I don't really know anything about Anderson Cooper either, though. But Stacy, how you doing? Tina Marie, friends from Convenience, Squeakers. Got everyone here. I seen Angelato here earlier as well. Transparent Jersey girl, Mud Pit, my girl. Yeah. So we'll just get into her lives here that Scapegoat was able to grab, and yeah, I haven't actually seen any of these. So it's going to be fresh for me as well. So this is from yesterday on her birthday. I think she did this in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, let's see what this is about.
This way, I don't understand the purpose of this at all whatsoever. It interferes with my ability to parent my children. And let me pause right there in the story and talk about technology, because every single time it comes up in my feed, it's like all these old people like so scared of technology, saying technology is the devil. And if you speak up against it or try to defend technology in any way, they like make you their target. They're like, oh yeah, you don't think.
Who is like shit talking technology and who's fighting Heather? I have to go stick up for technology every day, guys. You wouldn't believe it. All the people who hate technology in this world, all these old people.
In technology,
I keep forgetting that Heather's only like, what, 36, 37? She looks like she's a little over 40, but she's homeless. Like, James aged super quick when he became homeless.
the problem, fine. And they like come in my phone and start showing me why technology is the problem. And they're not the only ones who have done that. It's like every opinion around me that has been verbalized to me or forced down my throat or in my newsfeed, if I disagree with it, they don't allow that. Like,
she's always complaining about technology though at the same time. She's always saying she's getting tech box. She's saying like technology's against her. So you think she'd be just agreeing with people on this? I don't believe this is happening either. I think Heather's made this up in her head. It's like, film it. That would be interesting. I'd like to see that.
Like, they do not allow a person to disagree. As soon as you voice that you disagree, they make it their purpose to show you why you're wrong. And I'm not saying that technology isn't flawed. Everything is flawed because everything,
I think I hear Xavier playing his beats, his piano in the background.
is evolving, constantly evolving. So it's a process of trial and error. And as we find, little quirks or little viruses or bugs, we can fix them, but not when you pick on one person and attack them from every single angle. That's not natural. Now you have.
But what does that have to do with technology? That's how people use technology. It's very nefarious. Very nefarious.
You don't have any thesis or basis to say technology is the problem, because technology is not. Technology in the wrong hands. That's the problem. you know? And so I keep on reporting on all of these things. Tech is just one example.
Maybe she had a conversation with the cop. I could see a cop saying, just get the hell off social media if you don't want this kind of attention on you, and go to a shelter. I can see a cop saying this, like, don't go on social media, or that technology is the problem here because you're trying to report all these things that are nefariously happening to you online. They'll usually say, just get offline, get offline. And then I could see her arguing about that. Old people, though, it's just old people around the block in Lincoln Park, you know?
But it's everything. Like, I became an advocate of medical marijuana. I watched a lot of people with muscular issues, nervous system issues, myself included, who were prescribed either heavy duty pain pills like opiates or other like nerve blockers and shit like that. And I watched these people suffer. How many of you in the comments have ever been watching a TV show and all of a sudden it's like AstraZeneca logical?
Esther, I don't even know what that word is. I don't know what she said. I know she didn't do her YouTube live. If anyone catches her going live on YouTube, let me know. I'm gonna switch it to that. She usually keeps the YouTube live up for at least an hour or so after, unless she privates it right away.
For your RA, it will cure your symptoms in 7 days. Ask Dr. Chamorro. Just be careful in case you don't like nosebleeds, brain hemorrhages, stomach ulcers, pain in your feet, pain in your hands, difficulty with circulation, difficulty swallowing. You might need to use a straw for the rest of your life. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, they're giving you a list of 50 problems, 100 problems that's going to cure your one problem, but medical marijuana is just making you a little hungry for a snack and calm.
I mean, I'm very pro weed, right? But I don't think that that's all it's doing when you're pregnant. I think it might be affecting the kid as well. Again, I'm no doctor, but that's just what I've heard around the block.
And that's exactly what it's done for the panic disorders and the post-traumatic stress disorders that I've had. And I, as I said, have witnessed it work that way in others. So what do? I go public with that. This is like a year ago. I go public with that, and this is like a year ago. And as soon as I
Well, that was her commercial voice for sure. She was doing, that's her audition. She should send that in somewhere. Be like, I could do your drug commercials, and then I'll just gnaw your ear off and send you very graphic videos if something ever goes wrong in my life. I'm a great employee, yes.
They start demonizing pot in every way possible. They start lacing it with stuff. They do everything, you guys, to make me wrong. And I don't get it. I'm never going to be the person in the newsfeed saying,
who's lacing your pot? Oh, your pot's laced? That's not good.
If you take medicine for this, you better stop it right now. I'm the person saying, oh my God, you guys, I was really feeling this, and this is the solution that I found. It worked great. If you want to try it, cool. If not, no big deal, you know? And as I said, it used to be for an influencer like position because I wanted a paid influencing job. I've worked historically as an influencer before technology came. Who knows what an influencer would look like before the evolution of things like live broadcasting.
I don't know. How would you define an influencer without the use of technology? It would be like, not assumed, but it would be chosen by the advertisers, whoever wants to advertise on like commercial space. There's another word I'm looking for. My words are wonky today, guys.
And paid social media marketing campaigns. Anyone who's ever walked into a nightclub and seen someone there with vapes? Who's ever walked into a trade show and seen models there trying to sell to you? Who's ever walked into a liquor store or a grocery store and seen models there sampling and giving them product demos?
What is she getting at?
That's the evolution of the influencer. Okay, so salespeople in every capacity are transitioning to stay-at-home, work remote influencers. And I thought, oh my God, there's no better job for me. I have years of experience in promotion.
I don't think it works like that. Is there stay-at-home remote influencers? She's talking about like product samplers, right? People do like hey, you want a sample of this product? You should get it. This is what it is. This is what it does. Have you tried our new cheese? Have you tried this new wine? I don't know. Maybe me and Heather have different definitions of what an influencer is.
Emotional modeling. I know how to sell products. I know how to interact with people. I know how to be sociable, and talkative and kind and compassionate and make connections with people that will result in sales. Like, this is a good job for me. And I started getting involved in the fitness niche because fitness was my whole entire life at the time. And they literally attacked me to the point where I don't know how to describe it, you guys. Like I said, 1 in 2 times that I would get in my car, there would be a stalker parked outside waiting for me to move my car, and they would follow me. There was this black Cadillac. I think it's called the ATS, not the C.
Black hat Cadillac. What? Is there a Cadillac stalking her currently?
CTS. It was like probably 5 or 6 years newer than my car, the Cadillac CTS. It used to park outside of my apartment.
No, this is an old story. Okay.
And literally, I swear to God to you guys, 9 out of 10 times, that's a rough estimate, 9 out of 10 times that I would leave and I would never have a regular schedule. Like, I was working out at Equinox.
It's her birthday, Cheryl. She's allowed to be high at, I think, what was it, 7 in the morning? 7:41 in the morning. I don't know what time zone Scapegoat's in. That could be even earlier for Chicago. I don't know.
At the time, I had a membership to Equinox, the one right here in the 900 North Building, Michigan Avenue. And I was working out at this Equinox health club. And I would go every day at a different time, sometimes 5 a.m., sometimes 8 a.m., sometimes 5 p.m., every fucking time. Like, if this guy had a low jack in my house or a bug and he could hear everything I would say.
That's what we were debating last time too, Scapegoat, because I was like, I don't know if she's talking about, like, if she's just calling the weed resin tar, or if she's talking about like black tar heroin. So, because she's like smoking out of a resin bowl. So it makes me think there's just like resin in the bowl. So, like, what's the tire? I don't know. It's anyone's guess at this point.
Every time I would go to get in my car to go either drive DoorDash or go to the gym or go to the grocery store, this fucking guy in this black Cadillac would be waiting outside for me and he would follow me. And they did the exact same thing with the car I just told you about. All of this, like I said before, is 100% real, not for entertainment. I've never hired anyone to do any of this. I swear to God, Sue, on my life, on my children's life, on everything I love.
This would be a weird thing to hire people to do. What are you talking about? What?
From my perspective, this is real. The bludgeoning, it was real. The photos are there. The staples were there in the back of my head. The blood was pouring down my face. My legs were completely inflamed. The being sexually assaulted, that is real. They held me down after making me walk around for 3 to 5 days with no sleep.
Who is that? Like, if you had a specific person, then you could try to prosecute him, right? What do you mean they? It's always they.
Locking me out of my car, my house, my friends, everything. Waited for me to be so physically exhausted I could no longer move, and then sent someone in to rape me. Promised me a hotel room for the night, no strings attached, and sexually assaulted me from behind. Well,
I thought she got away from that. Maybe I'm misremembering the story. You can't imagine waking up and immediately going live in a blanket, ranting conspiracies for an hour. I could probably do that if I got paid for it. She doesn't get paid for it. I mean, maybe people feel bad enough for her because you get the hotel, I guess, supposedly. I hope so. Is she gonna do any lives from the hotel? Should check on her.
I begged and cried and had no physical strength to fight this person off. How do I keep reporting these occurrences to law enforcement with
nothing new since the last time I checked?
Proof of most of them, and yet I'm still not taken seriously. So Instagram and social media, even TikTok, in a lot of ways, if you go and see, I still do a lot of creative campaigns for my production company, GoPro Solo, because that's the only creative outlet I have right now. And it's literally what keeps me alive and like makes me, not give up.
But what is it? I still don't know the difference between Coco, Chanel YSL, and GoPro Solo. Or Heather Gillespie. I mean, because there's 3 different entities here.
But if you go to any of those profiles, you guys, you can see all of this very, very well documented. And
yeah, see, I don't know. I'm not up with the times. I'm not hip with the times with heroin or fentanyl prices, so I don't know if it's maybe more cost effective to get some heroin instead of fentanyl. Couldn't tell you. I could give you weed prices for sure.
so I went from being an influencer creating marketing content to a woman fighting for her life every single day and feeling like the content that I post is for documentation purposes so that nefarious and malicious entities, people, places, things, situations cannot steal my truth away.
Look, see another Angela. Yes, Heather Coco Senza. I forgot that one too. So 4.
And it's so sad to have to live that way. You know, it's so sad. But I'm okay. Today's my birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday! Again, this is a continuation.
I'm a young 29 years old, if anyone asks, and never getting a year older. Don't tell anyone that I'm anything other than 29 forever. I'm 29 eternal, okay? Or should it be 27? Either way, I'm getting older. My baby girl, my firstborn, she graduates high school this year. There is no bigger heartbreak that I've encountered yet than what they have done with my children and I. My children are my right-hand mans. Like, they are my everythings. And they have separated me from them unlawfully for going on 4 years now.
I don't know. I say this a lot, but like, you chose Dylan. You chose Dylan's dick over your kids. So I don't like that sob story she tells her. She's like, I've never experienced something so sad. They obviously don't mean that much to you, or else you wouldn't be in the situation you're in.
4 fucking years, you guys. Can you even imagine?
What? Okay, hold on. I gotta switch the thing. All right, so this is part 2. I guess I can play it while it's zooming in.
Before I go off track of there, I've gotten 20, for anyone thinking, oh, what a lazy bitch asking for donations. Nope. I've gotten 21 legal jobs ranging from commercial cleaning, hospital work, physical fitness, personal training, at-home health care. I worked at LA Fitness. I worked at Export Fitness.
All within what? The 4-year timeline, right? And you couldn't hold down a job at any of those.
All since this harassment began after the airing of the reality show, 21 jobs. Every single one of them within the first 1 month to 3 months. I've never made it past 3 months. I have been chased out, physically assaulted out, pushed out, or intimidated out of the job.
It sounds like a you issue. It sounds like 21 jobs gave you a chance despite all the show's drama. And you somehow messed it up within 3 months every time. You couldn't get past the probationary period. Like, if you were a normal person, I'm assuming that one of those 21 jobs would have kept you. I've seen worse people hold down jobs, better jobs than any of those. So I don't know, Heather. Or you're just really bad at your jobs and you're like stealing from them and stuff. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I don't know every job experience Heather's had.
Or some person who refuses to give their identity has called my boss and made some wild accusations about my character.
On Christmas, right? I think she was like, Merry Christmas.
Named me, slandered me, libeled me to where the boss or the corporation is like, whoa, we can't, this is too much liability. Like, before her 90-day probationary period expires, we need to get her out of here. So it's not that I'm lazy or unwilling to support myself. I've supported myself since I was 14 years old. I got my first job at 14.
She usually says 18, but yeah, she got her first job at the movie theater. I know that because of TD. 14 years old.
14 years old. I was so young that I had to go into my counselor's office at York Community High School in Elmhurst, Illinois, and I had to ask them for a work permit. How many of you have heard of a work permit?
Hands up. How many of you have heard of a work permit? I like when she talks like she's a teacher. Let me tell you what that means. And how many of you have heard of this? Are any of these people like saying nice things or anything?
You guys ever heard of a work permit?
Then why the fuck are you in a tent? That's what I'm reading. Always someone else. Oh, okay. I've seen them. That's why I'm telling you to post them. Exactly. Okay. So doesn't look like anyone's like really jiving with her.
So they have to legally, for any business to hire someone who's under, I think, 16, they have to have a work permit. Otherwise, they can get charged with child trafficking.
No. What would it be? Child labor, right? Or something? Child trafficking? What? I don't think that's the right thing.
Work trafficking children.
Work trafficking. I don't think trafficking has to do with it at all. I think it's just like child labor laws, right?
So I go to my counselor. I get a work permit at 14 years old. I'm working in a pizza place, paying my taxes. They're being directly
Is that why she thinks like Xavier was human trafficked in his last job?
Deducted out. And that's been my entire life. That's more than 16 years of employment history. That's more than 16 years of paying into the tax system. Not to mention the fact that when I turned into an entrepreneur, I started doing staycations with my kids almost every weekend, with or without them. When they would be with their dads, I would get at least one 4 or 5 star hotel room in Chicago. Do you guys know that $60 to $80 of your hotel room is taxes and fees?
I wouldn't have known if it weren't for you, Heather. But hello, Xavier's chocolates. I hope you're doing well tonight.
I have consistently contributed to the tax system my entire life. I have never been a bum. I have always been a hardworking, intelligent, creative, kind person. And I don't really know what to do. Like, I've turned it off. I was the person that when someone tried to home invade my home on November 24th, 2019.
With the rattling bam, ma'am, slam, right?
I literally stuck my head out the window and was like, if you're hungry, I have food in here and I'll make you a plate. Like, please don't hurt me.
So you invited the intruder in to make them a meal? I've never heard this part of the story before. Have you guys heard this part of the story before? I thought she was going to say like some big bad wolf shit. Like, please don't blow my house down. But nah, come inside. I'll make you some food.
I'm in here alone with my children. I have a weapon. I'm going to call law enforcement.
I have a weapon and a spatula. You want some pancakes?
I'm going to leave you a plate outside. I don't want anything bad for you. I don't know your situation, but please don't hurt me. And the person left. They took the food and left.
Oh, you made the food and they left. And then the police came with a battering ram, slattering Samity Sam.
And it's like, that's me in life. That's me, how I deal and handle with every single person who I send.
I like the new narratives. I like it when she keeps it a little fresh because we hear the same thing so much all the time. So I like this little spin. It's like I don't know, when you've seen the same movie like over and over and over, and then you catch something you've never noticed before. It's like that's what it feels like right now. Like, oh, okay, a little bit extra crazy today. I got you.
And any sort of animosity from. That is my personality. And I've reeled that in a lot. I worked at Northwestern Hospital for many years, and I would get paid every Friday and cash out my check, and I would take $10 to $20 cash
and give it to the homeless people, right? I wonder if this is going to have some spin. It's weird. Yeah, I thought she was going to get to the battering ram part. No battering ram this time.
And just pass it out to every homeless person that I saw on my way to the train. That's been my whole life. When do I get to be the person on the receiving end? They're cracking the poles, Xavier. You need to go do the bungee, please.
They are, not the weather. They are cracking the poles. Lincoln Park must be a crazy place, bro.
These poles are cracking. Do you want me to watch you so nothing bad happens?
Yeah, you might get labor trafficked out there.
Understood, but if you don't fix the poles and they crack in half, then we're going to get soaked every single day. Huh? Do you hear them cracking? It's not. It's most definitely the pole. Like, this pole is like literally touching my head, and it's supposed to be like 5 feet higher than me.
5 feet higher than you? I'm assuming sitting down, right? Because she's 5'9". She wants a tent with 10-foot high ceilings, guys, and she is not gonna settle for anything less. And it's Xavier's responsibility to figure this shit out. Okay, he's gotta He's got to think of something during a blizzard.
But yeah, it's been like this for way too long. Just way too long. And I've tried everything in my power. I've bought e-commerce stores already built. I've sat down and built them myself. I've signed up for Amazon Influencer on multiple accounts. I have created tons of free marketing material. I've pitched to small businesses. Xavier does art. He does custom pieces.
NFTs and such. Yeah. And he just takes other people's art and slaps it on like a background from Florida. And it's like, it's fine art. Okay. You can rent this piece from me. I need it back after, but you can rent it. So when you sell your house, people will think you're bougie. It'll be like Birdemic when they go in and the art is like this big and they're like, this is a painting of the world on fire. You like it?
And as the renaissance, if you will, of social media influencers continues to rise, I have come up with lots of different practical ways to keep things looking professional for meet and greets, and everyone from micro influencers who have 2,000 followers all the way to larger influencers. I came up with an idea for his art just yesterday, another campaign.
Oh, is she going to write her song? I forgot. She said, well, I guess maybe this was before she said it actually, because I think it was yesterday. She said, I'm writing a song about they or them, you know, and how they've been treating her for all these years. And I really want to hear this song. I hope Xavier is doing some drums and piano in it. I'm excited.
About marketing your brand as an icon rather than a logo, and printing it out on a portable canvas or other material of your choice that you could actually take with you. And
if I were to take an educated guess, I'd say she's probably on drugs right now, but I didn't see her do any drugs, so I can't say for sure.
Sitting in the airport as an influencer on a layover and you have a few hours, or you run into someone in the airport. How many times have you run into someone in the airport and you cannot believe that you just ran into this person? This is a literal way to just open your office, your workspace to the world and be.
Well, yeah, okay, I'm a little lost now. What the fuck is she talking about? Because I was like, I don't think I've ever ran into anyone at the airport and been like, what? You're in the airport too? Maybe just because I don't live by an airport, though. I don't know. What is she talking about?
Mobile. Your brand is mobile. Your message is mobile, and you can literally do your work wherever, whenever, and however. So it's never been a matter of.
This is her pitch for the small to large influencers.
Me being a bum. Like, I have ADHD. Do you understand that's the opposite of being a bum?
I understand that it makes these thought processes not make any sense. So, yeah, no, I believe you have ADD.
I'm currently and traditionally involved in anywhere from like 10 to 1 million projects at a time. I'm working on a coffee table book called the Coco.
Oh, that's another thing I'm stoked for. So I'm stoked for this song. I'm stoked for the coffee table book. I don't know when that's coming out.
Coffee table book.
Jesus Christ, it's snowing.
Mm-hmm. I'm working on a novel. I've handwritten 474 or 444 pages of the novel. A lot of people are like, well, why, Heather, why haven't you sat down and started typing it? Are you guys observing what I'm going through? This is like, most days are not peaceful. Most days they have either done something to my food, done something to my environment that make it impossible. Who was with us when we went live? Xavier and I made a date to go to the courthouse again. It would have been my 9th in-person petition. Babe, verify that I'm not lying. About
what did happen to the mermaid shoot? I guess, well, it's winter now. We're gonna get that anytime soon, but I remember that.
The poisoning at McDonald's.
Poison McDonald's.
And the nosebleed.
Then the nosebleed. Poison McDonald's and affected them.
Just me. So I make a day that we were going to go to file these petitions at the courthouse. This would have been my 9th in-person filing. And we stop at McDonald's on the way over there for a big breakfast. We're not rich, we barely are like surviving some days. So we split the big breakfast. I go and order a coffee afterwards. I swear to God, you guys, I could not make this up. I'm fine. It's 4 a.m, 5 a.m. when we wake up. And I'm like, I want to be the first people there so we can get in and out. and I have to bring a witness because in case they take our phones away, I always like there to be a witness because I've gone to the court system now 8 or 9 times and filed formal in-person petitions that I have also filed electronically that I all have on video. Along with thousands of follow-up emails that none of the judges or their assistants follow up on. And if you guys don't believe me, go over, like I said, to the One Heather GEE account. I have a listing of every judge, their room number, and
we also went over like all of her court things and when she got bludgeoned. So she actually got bludgeoned, but like she didn't want to pick the guy out of the lineup the second time, and she wasn't cooperating with the police when they were trying to like prosecute him. And then everything else doesn't seem to have actually happened the way Heather has described it happening. Like the stabbing incident with the screwdrivers, it wasn't screwdrivers. I don't know why she's switching it to screwdrivers. It was like a tiny knife the size of a pinky. And she pursued them after they tried to get away. And she instigated the fight. So it's like there's a lot of reasons why this hasn't gone anywhere. But I don't think us looking it up is to do her any favors. I don't know why she tells people to look it up because we have.
their administrative assistant, their email addresses and phone numbers. I've called them and emailed them thousands of times. I have not received a single response that is not auto-generated. And this has been since 2018. But we go to McDonald's on our way to file this petition, and I swear to God to you guys, they fucking poisoned me. I think it was the coffee. I took one sip of the coffee, immediately the feeling of emesis. So vomiting. I feel like I need to vomit. I asked them to use the restroom because at this particular...
Oh, I might have to. Yeah, I gotta switch it. Hold on. Okay. I'm trying to get. I forgot to get the. I have to have 2 windows open for live chat because I want to do a poll. I don't know if you guys will know what I'm talking about, but I want to ask you guys how many of you can wiggle your ears. If that makes sense. So like, when you wiggle them without touching them. I don't know if like touching, I don't know what. You'd have to not be touching them. But that's what I'm trying to do. But I think I'm good now.
The door, you turn the little lock, and then you get in the restroom. I go in the restroom, literally every single toilet other than the handicap stall with the bungee off.
It's not that. There's a bunch of smell pushing the tent out. I'm getting it off.
Okay. But I go into this restroom, and I'm like shoveling. Oh my God, I'm thinking of what Xavier's doing. I'm like going like quickly in through the restrooms. All the toilets are empty of water with like plastered on shit and like toilet paper to the walls of the toilet. I had already eaten. Otherwise I would have totally lost my appetite. This is a restaurant. So I go potty really quickly in the handicap stall, and I still feel really, really nauseous, but like nothing is coming out. Like I'm not having a number 2. I know it's TMI. I'm not having a number 2, and I'm not vomiting. I'm just like feeling really ill. And I'd only had that 1 sip of coffee, and I go back.
Yeah, she did. And there was like blood in it, and she was like bleeding out of her nose for some reason. Unless this was another time that she's describing, and it was like in a bag. So I remember that day. I was like, this is a crazy day. This is a crazy day.
Back, and as soon as I sit back down, there's like 4 heroin addicts surrounding Xavier.
And they're on TikTok too. Usually their TikTok lives are fucking glitchy as hell, but you're right. Yeah, when Xavier is busy doing something like playing his piano or shoveling, no one's interrupting her live streams, which is interesting. That's also a good face to have files. I should maybe take a thing. Hold on. Send it to Amy. I'll be like, Amy, look at this. And then we can make up. Well, can we make another emoji? I think we need like 4 more members, and we can make another emoji. Or I don't know. I'll check after the stream.
Like literally surrounding him, like trying to talk to him all at the same time. He's standing there looking terrified, like a cat with their eyes like this, And I'm like, I tell this lady, like, hi, would you mind giving us some space, please? And like, I'm firm but nice. And immediately after I said that, I just start vomiting like profusely, you guys, like exorcism style, into the McDonald's bag that we had just bought the big breakfast in. And there's all this blood coming up with it. I get on a live feed and I'm like, you guys are never going to believe this, because I was telling my followers on Instagram I'm going to file the petitions again this morning. We're going to get up at 4 a.m. and go over there. And by this time it was like 7 a.m. because it takes us about an hour to pack up the tent and all this.
Is that what she does at 4 in the morning? When she gets up early those days, she's going to file petitions at the court for what? For the kids? You're living in a tent right now. Where are you gonna put these fucking kids? Maybe she doesn't mean the kids. Maybe she means about like everything else that's happened like years and years and years ago. Which, to be fair, like the kids being taken away happened years and years and years ago. So it's probably just everything.
Stuff. And I swear to God, to you guys, as soon as I go live, guess what happens next? My nose just starts dripping blood all down. So they make me vomit. First, so I'm vomiting up blood. And then when I go live to document it, like, I'm terrified. I'm a regular girl. I'm not like any.
I'm a regular girl, guys. I'm not built for this. You're Heather fucking Gillespie. What are you talking about? Have more confidence. She's been a little emo the past couple of days, but I guess it's her birthday and she's in a tent. But it's not like the regular resilient Heather that I'm used to.
Any of this weird stuff. Like,
that's winter, I guess, too.
I'm a mom, you know, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's scary for me. And literally, as soon as I hit go live on Insta, and I'm like, oh my God, you guys, blah, blah, blah. And I started saying.
Yeah, she changed it from like, before she said Xavier induced like the twins miscarrying or whatever with his fingernail. And some crazy thing. But yeah, now she's poisoned. At the Teddy Grams report.
Saying like 3 words, all this blood starts dripping down. And I thought it was like a filter. Are you guys familiar with that spider filter that like looks like it's like crawling on the face? I thought it was something like that, but with blood. And like I touch myself and go like this, and there's just blood all over my hand and like dripping down everywhere. Needless to say, I was pregnant at the time. This was only like 10 weeks ago. Needless to say, we did not make it to the courthouse. I instead.
You weren't going to the courthouse that day, though, because I remember that day. You were going to a production meeting, whatever the fuck that was for. And Gary V. Right now. You were talking about Gary V. And then all of a sudden you're at the hospital. I remember this day, Heather.
I had to turn around and be rerouted to Northwestern Hospital. And I have all of the medical records for that as well. So it's just been a long, grueling process with almost no progress being made. As I said before, in my entire life, every single year that I have on this planet, babe, is the bungee on?
Yes.
Are you sure it's around the poles?
Yeah, it is.
What? I'm trying to imagine how they have their tent set up. You have a bungee cord around the poles? How is that going to make him secure?
Because it's like coming all the way down and touching my head, and the bungee is too strong for that.
Oh, it's like the bungee holding the roof of the tent up by like a tree or something, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what this bungee is for.
No, it's just the wind on that side pushing it in.
So cold, you guys. But yeah, none of this is for entertainment purposes. And I've contacted like social media.
This is all for entertainment purposes only. I am not a lawyer or a doctor or a botanist or anything else like that.
Influencers. I've contacted, oh my God, how do you fucking figure? How the fuck do you figure? You guys look at this shit. Hold on.
Yeah, I want to see what the hell is going on. What am I looking at? I thought this was a whole other dimension for a second, and we were on the set. The real life with Heather Gillespie. I don't know what I'm looking at, though. Oh, I'm looking outside. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I thought we were still in the tent, and I was like, the fuck are we in Narnia? She has like a fucking portal to Narnia in there.
Do you guys see this?
Yeah, it's snowing.
This is unbelievable.
You're in Chicago. What do you mean it's unbelievable?
So we stay at this little yacht club right now because it's privately owned, and we know, like, I have a bunch of sponsors who have been low-key helping us, because all my sponsors who have been helping us out loud, they literally start getting attacked for money. Like,
Attacked for, yeah, I'm sure that's how it goes. It's not like people warning them or anything. There was a girl that, like, okay, wasted $400 getting you like apartments and shit, and then you wouldn't put it in your name. So then it was all for nothing. I pinned the comment on the last stream. So if they want to reach out to me and share anything with me, I can show you guys, because there's people who be like, well, you know, you guys are mean. All right. You shouldn't be deterring people not to give her money. She gets money. She gets money. She wastes people's money. Someone who was actually trying to help her get a fucking place out of the cold. Heather, I'll tell you what, if anyone wasted $400 of Heather's money, we would not be hearing the end of it. She would be going psycho. Like, fuck.
Their inbox starts blowing up, their phone starts getting hacked, and they start getting literally like strong-armed for money and sponsorship from other people. So I have to keep all my sponsors on the super low key, super duper low. And I think honestly and truthfully that's the only reason no one has opened their door to us yet, because they're afraid. You know, that's the only thing I can hypothesize. Nothing else makes sense. But yeah, so it's been so much shit. Like every time I try to report this, I get all these accusations that I'm like a TikToker or an influencer or a micro influencer who does the most for attention. None of this is for attention. I believe in God. I was confirmed. I was baptized.
She's just doing it for attention. What does she think she's doing it for then? Because like the narratives, everything, she wants people to know her story. It is for attention.
It means a lot to me to swear on the lives and heads of myself, my children, my husband, my family. I would never, ever in my wildest dreams swear on our well-being that something is truthful and just be lying. Girl Scouts honor, is this how they do it?
I don't know, Heather. You tell me. You're the Girl Scout in this scenario.
That what I'm telling you is the truth. I don't know how to make sense of that. I don't know how to make sense of a world where a woman can be raped, call the police for help, turn in a sheet with the semen stains on it, and
because it wasn't. We saw that video too, where she was like yelling at the cop and not answering any questions and not following the process properly. And I don't think that any of those stains or anything like that was from anyone else other than her. She was on a lot of Adderall at the time, I think, or Duster, one of the two. Heather.
Law enforcement laughs in her face, and they took the sheet. It's been 2 years, almost a year and a half since that happened. I've called them 8 or 9 times asking for follow-up. Still zero follow-up. No, nothing has been done. They haven't sent anything to the lab, like blah, 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 blah. Whatever bullshit rhetoric that these cops give. And I don't hate the cops. You know, I grew up thinking that the cops you could trust and that you were supposed to call the cops if you were ever harmed. So how do you explain now that I've been manhandled by the cops multiple times for absolutely no reason?
Absolutely no reason, guys. Also, all the cops are fake. I'm surprised she hasn't said the cops are fake. Today, the cops are real, but they're just like out of line, out of pocket.
And it's coward shit, you guys. Like I was 14 weeks pregnant the last time I was manhandled by a dude, and I was laying in a defenseless position on my yoga mat. Just
I mean, like when you say manhandled, I'm gonna assume it's a dude.
After completing a photo shoot, Xavier went to go get us pizza, and I knew something was gonna happen. I told him,
hopefully not cheese pizza.
Please don't go, babe. I'm scared. Please don't go. This guy grabbed me by my body, slammed me to the ground like Hadouken style, and then dragged
Hadouken style? I don't know what that is. Is that like a Street Fighter move?
me like 6 to 7 feet on my back. And I'm a baby. I will cry over anything. So I'm fucking crying and screaming and like, please stop. I have PTSD. I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here. Leave me alone. Why are you doing this? And he's just like beating me, you know, and manhandling me. Like, what the fuck kind of a man with a badge and a gun beats up a pregnant woman, you know? And like I said before, that was the second time that law enforcement has put their hands on me. The first time it was a woman cop named
Law enforcement. Law enforcement.
Gabby, who I know She worked at Parag Joshi's Cardiovascular Institute with me. She was the nuclear technologist while I was the medical assistant and front office admin. I know her. She's not a cop. I don't even think that, well, I'm not going to go there, but
It is a Street Fighter move. Like, I can picture a Street Fighter person being like, Hadouken! Like, I think it's it, right? I don't play a lot of Street Fighter. TD! How you doing, TD? I hope you're doing amazing.
there's definitely something nefarious going on. And I can confirm that that was her. She batter rammed my door to my apartment and they stole my apartment and used it for someone else. Most of my belongings, from what I hear, are still in the unit. My paintings, my art displays are still up. So there's a lot of nefarious shit going on, and I want to press charges against everyone involved, and I don't know what to do to make it stop. No.
You're gonna be like, I don't know what to do to make that happen, and be like, you got friends? Find Nick Albuquerque, your boy, in what color do lawyers wear? It's not boy in blue, boy in black, boy in beige.
None of this is for entertainment purposes. I would rather be bored than have this be my only entertainment. At the same time, I have to go number 2. This is the problem I face with number 2s.
Just like shit. I can find and pull it up because it's just like a short video. If she's just like whacked out of her mind. She's like, it's been 3-4 days. I've just been sitting here doing Duster, and she's all, it's pretty crazy.
Every single day, they do not let me have access to a restroom, you guys. I don't know how to make sense of this. They do not let me have regular access to a restroom.
Who is they, and how are they restricting your access to a restroom? Other than, like, if she goes to a gas station, they can't like refuse her going into the restroom there, right? But if it's a restaurant, I could see them being like, no, only for paying customers, like in Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, and then they just peed outside of the restaurant.
If I want to use the restroom, I have to wait for business hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Business hours.
Yes, you have to wait for business hours to use a business's restroom. You're not special. What, you think they're going to give you like a fucking key to the business? Okay, Heather, we're going to lock up for the night. We'll let you use the restroom. So here's the key. Here's all the other shit in the fucking store. We'll trust you. What you would examine? You good people, you know.
And hope that it's not, since we're in winter right now, we've had New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, Thanksgiving. All the hours are fucked. They like change the hours.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is one of the many challenges that comes with being homeless. Like, it sucks. I feel for you, but like, you can't, what do you expect them to do? Like, what do you expect them to do? Just have someone there to let you in and out? Give you a fucking key? I don't know, man. That's kind of absurd that she even thinks that people would have accommodated her like that.
A grocery store that definitely lets you use the restroom, and then like one other store that's kind of reliable. Other than that, I have to just sit here holding it in. Like, this is so unhealthy. This is so unlawful. This is so unethical. I don't understand how this continues. I truly don't. Hold on.
Oh, she bumped it down to 2 from 4? Okay. Yeah, I will find a little.
One second, guys.
I need to get a...
And then they're pressing charges against everyone who is like contributing to these false narratives. Nothing new has taken place. They've been running the same play since 2019. They expose all of their rats. They expose all of their cops and informants, and they don't know that they're doing so and think that they're going to turn it around on me. Well, that works for about a few days, and then the real bad guys find out and they fuck your whole life up. And like, that's the bad part. And I keep on telling all these people, if you don't have true intentions with me, please just leave me alone. My name is Heather Gillespie. I go by Coco in some social circles. I don't have any criminal record. I have a degree. I have personal training experience. I'm a nice girl. I'm a mom. I belong at home with my children. I'm completely misplaced right now. Don't like it. I feel like this is all happening against my will, without my permission. I want to press charges against everyone involved. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm probably going to get on the live again later on this afternoon. But like I always say, if you're not here to be reported in any way, get the fuck away from me, period. I will never be the one in someone's comments telling them you're not shit, you're a bitch, you're a liar, go away. You are in my safe space. When all else has failed and they have taken away all my apartments, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, even, Facebook at times, these are places that have provided me shelter, so to speak, metaphorical, a place to share the abuses that have taken place, a place to keep them forever. And you know how Apple is like, you're running out of space in your cloud, so if you want to keep on saving these videos of people raping and torturing you.
What? No, I did. That took a hard turn. That took a hard turn, bro. Okay, so I have the thing up here. I'm just gonna show you guys real quick. What the fuck? This is the duster one, so that I can close it because it doesn't like it when I play things right from YouTube.
I see my kids. I've just been here doing air duster for 4 days or 2 days. I never smoked air duster in my whole entire life before this.
And see, your lips are all jacked up. That's why some people think like she's doing air duster now because she's got like the cracked lip.
They won't let me see my kids. I've just been here doing air duster for 4 days or 2 days. I never smoked air duster in my whole entire life before this.
So that's her doing air duster. So I'll jump back over here to that crazy turn.
You're gonna have to come up with $4.99 for extra GBs a month. Instagram and
why wouldn't you go to the police with that kind of shit right away, and they would take it off of your phone and put it into evidence, and then you have your phone back. You also have 4 phones. Mamma mia.
TikTok have never once said that to me. Facebook has never once said that to me since 2010, maybe prior. I don't even know the real year, but I think it's around then. I have been posting photos, documentation about my life, and memories, and happy ones and sad ones. Babe.
He's doing his drums. He's doing his drum solos.
Turn it down a little, please. And it's all there. If you go to look for it today, it is all there and can be found. So Apple, I'm not hating on you because I'm totally an Apple girl. I don't really have much experience with Android, although I don't like Android. I just don't know as much about it as I do Apple and the functionality. I use Movie a lot. I use a lot of the editing software that comes with for free Apple products. And I
like how it's just like all fucking hi-hat and rides. What does he do? Oh, that I swear he's trolling her at times. Like he's like, all right, enough of this shit. I'm just gonna drown her out with drumming. You know, let me finish the poll here as well. I mean, she just likes Lincoln Park, Scapegoat. She likes the zoo at Lincoln Park. She was speaking about the zoo, and the other homeless people were harassing her, allegedly, supposedly. Can't say for sure. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Oh shit, I did not even see this. Or this. What the heck? Rocky Ramirez, thank you for the $10 super chat. Wow, how come that didn't pop up for me over here? She knows the end is near when she loses this baby who will take her serious. Yeah. But who knows, right? I don't know what's gonna happen when that happens, but it's inevitable. Like it's definitely gonna. I can't see her keeping it unless Xavier's family lets them in, but that's a recipe for disaster as well. Like I have no idea. Also, T, thank you for the super sticker. I can see what it is now. I got this thing popped up. I did not see this earlier. I don't know how long this has been up there, so I apologize, guys. Wow, people can't wiggle their ears. Like it's just like I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Can I? I don't know. But it's like when they're trying to hear things, I'll feel them. Like I'll have to like relax them because I don't know. I guess you just have to be able to wiggle your ears to know what I'm talking about. I thought it would be like more like 50-50 or more people would be able to wiggle their ears. That's interesting. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I can't. That's pretty white on white. Let me see. VC wants a pony. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thanks everyone for being my Saturday date. No, for anytime. Anytime. I'm just gonna see if I can see that super sticker real quick, which seems like it was forever ago. It was the Rock On saying. Thank you. All right, let me switch it back over to our gal here, because I think she's about to wrap it up for this one, and then I have the we'll take a smoke break. Then we got the Facebook Live, and then we can wrap it up with like another episode of her podcast. I think we're on episode 4. Hopefully, there's none of that high pitched crazy noise. I don't know though. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. And then we should be good on time there. I also gotta watch the rest of that Dylan stream, but I might do that on members only. I'm not sure. So let me get this stuff. All I don't need to do here. Let me just
understand it, and it's super user friendly for me. I had a MacBook before I got my Google Chrome, so I'm more of an Apple girl. But I don't have the money right now with these oppressive circumstances to pay for extra storage. And it hurts my feelings that Apple requires that. Now,
I don't think Apple's going to change their policies based on your feelings, Heather, but that's I guess, a nice attempt. That is a wholesome attempt at trying to get some free cloud storage that I don't think Apple would want grape used in their cloud. I'm just going to go out on a limb there and say they probably wouldn't appreciate that.
Here's the workaround with Apple. You can create a new Apple ID and get all your new storage. So you could save up all your shit to your cloud and then just make a new cloud.
Well, there you got a workaround. Why are you complaining? There you go. I don't want to hear you say I couldn't upload it to the cloud. You can just make a new Apple ID, right? And you got the 4 devices. That's pretty smart, actually. I'm going to give you that. That's pretty smart.
So there is a way, but that gets confusing, and then you have so much there's been like 5 or 6 Apple clouds since all of this abuse began, and each Apple cloud holds as much damning information as the other one. And I'm not talking about my life. I keep my life transparent, you guys, like a window. Okay, I report on everything, and I keep very, very accurate details. I go above and beyond to not engage in behaviors that I cannot justify, explain, or make sense to others in conversation, in verbal dialogue. And I do that for a very specific reason.
How would you explain a situation in any other way? Like by written? I mean, like you're writing a fucking all over the place. You got tent festos, fridge festos, the actual narrative, but also just verbal dialogue. Okay. All right.
Very specific reason. I have at least 5 or 6 of those. So shout out to Apple as well. But everyone has been shitting on technology lately. Yeah, we know there are hackers. Yeah, we know there are bugs and viruses. Just like if you carry a handgun, you could go your whole life without ever harming someone with that gun. You could be an armed security officer. And
this is a really clunky analogy right here. So viruses and hackers are equivalent to improper gun use because
never have to pull that gun out. Or you could be a person who pulls the gun out against everyone you see and demands money from them at gunpoint. It's not the gun's fault either way. And that's the same way as
okay. I wasn't as clunky as I thought I was going to be. She caught me off guard there. She's full of surprises yesterday. I was going to say today. This was yesterday.
Technology, in my opinion. So I appreciate the technology. I got on the subject of technology because I was like telling you guys about how horrendous it's been being separated from my children.
Mm-hmm.
And the only main form of communication and way that I see them is through FaceTime video or audio or Google Voice, because I haven't even had money to pay a phone bill in some months. So shout out to Google Voice. Shout out to Apple for having FaceTime videos and Google Duos.
Shout out to Apple, even though they hurt my feelings.
Xavier, I've asked you really nicely multiple times to please stop doing that while I'm on my live. You're 39 years old. You have to act like a grown-ass man, please, sometimes. Please.
So he switches it to something more high-pitched and annoying, like fucking Christmas bells. I love Xavier, bro. Xavier, we got to get you out of this. I can save you. I can save you.
Yeah, it's thunder. You guys, there's a blizzard with thunder. This is terrifying. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening.
That's an xylophone.
Again, as I said, a bunch of gratitude going out to all the big tech companies that have, been pivotal in my survival, my documentation, and I'm sure many, many other people in the world, and also in sharing perspective and experience. Yes, I do want to press charges. We could start with the RICO Act and domestic terrorism for everyone who continues to support or circulate nefarious, slanderous, libelous narratives about me, or falsely perpetuate narratives after we've already confirmed numerous times that it's not true. I do want those people charged. You could start with this comments reel, and we always download these. So this is my safe place, just like every other individual creator has their safe place. You don't get to follow people around bullying and stalking them. That's not the world that we live in. We don't appreciate censorship. At the same time, we don't appreciate bullying. What is your impact at the end of the day? When you get off of this live feed, go look at yourself in the mirror and ask what you accomplished. You're sitting in my comments trying to cut me down as
We could get real philosophical. We could say that what she does is bullying, making people feel bad and pressuring them for money and then wasting it and then doing a lot of other nefarious things. Would be just as bad as someone saying your tooth is fucking falling out of your face and maybe you should get your shit together. And you don't like hearing that. And just say that it's all Instagram's filters' fault. They're nefarious filters. The tech box is after you. The tech bubble, even though technology is not the problem and you love tech. I mean, like, fuck, man. I don't know, Heather. I don't know. We don't like censorship, but we don't like bullying.
a creator, as a performer, as a mother, as a woman, as a businesswoman, as a truth teller. How dare you? So I love you guys so much, and I'll be back.
Everyone here is not. I love you guys. I love all the haters.
Probably this afternoon. If not this afternoon, maybe tomorrow. There seems to be some sort of a blizzard, and I need to do a number 2. I need to go potty so bad. I know it's TMI. I had a really shitty night of sleep last night, and we're sleeping on like some platforms. You could hear it's nothing but wood underneath here. That's what I'm sleeping on at 35 weeks of pregnancy. So I just knocked on the wood panels. We put wood panels up. They're about an inch thick so that we won't get wet, because we have 6 waterproof tarps underneath us, as well as 2 shower curtain liners, and they're still somehow pouring water and liquid into my space.
You got holes in the tent from Xavier lighting cigarettes and such. Well, maybe not cigarettes, but some other things he's smoking. I've seen her read the comments sometimes, and then she gets mad at them, and she's like, look at all these nefarious people saying evil, mean things. She then says that she has never said any of these things to other people, but there's like screenshots of her saying some pretty nasty stuff to people, just trying to offer her honest advice. Like, hey, I don't know if you knew about this shelter. This is the address. If you go there, they can help you. She's like, yo, fuck you. I hope you die in a ditch or some crazy shit. I remember reading some crazy shit.
So I do want to press charges against all of those people involved. This is all nefarious. It's all illegal. It's all unlawful. And I do want to press charges. All right, you guys, have a great day. And thank you so much for listening. And I'll talk to you guys later. Oh, and if you guys can sponsor.
Of course it wasn't over. Of course it wasn't over yet. Is she still upset that Xavier doesn't have any sponsors? It's all her sponsors. When people give them money, it has to say specifically for Xavier. And then she'd be happy.
Anyway,
I think she would get jealous, actually. I think she got jealous one time that someone donated, or they picked up, I don't know, free clothing from a homeless place that gives you clothes out. And it was like a Love Bites t-shirt. And she's like, if you wear that, I'm breaking up with you. Like, she got mad that Xavier is going to wear a shirt that says Love Bites on it. So I don't think she would be too happy with a woman giving Xavier money specifically for him.
I have sponsors who do everything for us, from buying me an outfit, or Xavier, meals. He'll go and pick them up, to sending money on Cash App. If there's any way that you would like to sponsor, all of my sponsors who have offered hotel rooms, we've not gotten any of them. So I don't know what's gone on with that. But yeah, I would love to see all the people who have listened to my testimony of being.
Wait, Gallus' sister Dylan is in jail? I know that Heather's Dylan is in jail. I seen a picture of Gal's sister Dylan recently.
held down and sexually assaulted,
Different
you
Dylan.
know, poisoned and vomiting up blood. All the
Okay.
people who continue to come in the comments of all my socials, they're all the same people. I would love to have them all in a room so that we could have a really great conversation. I'd like to do that live. I'd like them to be identified, and I'd like them to speak with people who can get on their level, because I'm not one of them. I do have friends who can get on their grimy level and talk the same.
So Gal's sister's Dylan. I think it was either him or Rachel posted a picture of him and Rachel sometime, like it was recently, but it looks like the picture was taken around Christmas because Rachel's wearing like a Christmas hat. And it was like happy anniversary, honey. So, and he has a shaved head now. So I think he's alive. At least he was alive on December 25th. So I am holding out hope that he is okay. And they're just, I don't know, scared. They got what they wanted. They're like, people are watching their shit. They're getting views. Isn't that what they wanted? Like, people to watch their shit?
amount of shit. I'm not one of them. I don't have it in my.
It was posted to one of their Facebooks, but I can't say for sure. I'm blocked. Someone sent me a screenshot of it, of the post on Facebook. So that's why I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was either Dylan or Rachel's Facebook. They have like their Gala News Network Facebook, and then it links to their Facebooks on that Facebook, which is linked to all their other stuff. So it's not like a huge amount of digging was involved there. It's just I'm surprised. Like if they're posting pictures, why aren't they posting videos? Why aren't they? I don't know. What are they up? What are those rascals up to? You know what I'm saying? So let me close some tabs here. I'm gonna get the smoke break music up, and then when we get back, we're gonna do the Facebook Live, and we can wrap it up with some Coco Chanel podcast, the craziest podcast in the world that Xavier is supposed to be a part of as well. Oh, I'll also show you the story that she did today too about the hotel, and I'll check to see if there's anything else on smoke. So let me make this pulled down. We'll get this put on here, and we'll just do this one today. And I'll be back. I'll be back. right. Oh, that's not the button. All right. I got like, I don't know. I don't know what a migraine is. I think maybe I had a migraine once or twice. I feel like a migraine is coming. Maybe. And it's not a lack of caffeine or weed or food or water. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe I have a brain tumor. No, I don't have that. No duster. I hate when the wall people make me do dusters. No. And remember she said that in the library? I think it was the library. She was trying to email Nick Albuquerque and print off her narrative and all that fun jazz. That's what it is. The weather. Yeah, it might be the weather, actually. Like going from the cold to the hot to the dipping and dapping and ripping and rapping. I don't know. That's probably accurate. All right, so this is Heather here. I'm also just gonna get. I'm gonna see how long this third episode is. Are we on 3 or 4? I think we're on 4, right? We'll just go to 4 in case. Episode 7, episode 5, episode 2, episode 3, episode 3, episode 4. This is the first one here. 27 minutes. All right. I mean, we'll see how far we can get in that after. But this Facebook Live is only 11 minutes. So we'll just jump right into it. Do I have it up? Yeah, I do. Why don't I? Okay, I don't have that, so that's why.
What's going on, you guys? Just an FTR because we all know that Live's saved to the platform. What was it? Oh, yeah. They are not letting me go live on Insta, and I was planning to update every single day as I have been for the past several years. They are not allowing it, so they're blocking my live feeds from Instagram. I'm going to go to a YouTube, right now. But here is this, just to leave here because I know that it will go on the record. So I was trying to update everyone. It is January 13th, the day after my birthday. I'm 29. Eternally 27, maybe even 26, and
no, you're not.
So happy birthday to me. I'm 35 weeks pregnant with baby number 4. You guys know that I lost twins last year at 18 weeks 6 days gestation. We are
Wasn't this today? I'm pretty sure this Facebook Live was from today. Why is she still saying happy birthday to herself? Her birthday was yesterday.
about to go get potty because we all know they're holding me in a tent and I can't do potty in the tent. So every single time I have to go number 2, I have to waddle in this modified bed rest because they keep on making me have random contractions whenever I try to walk more than a block. But we're going to go look for a potty. And then after that, we are going to grab some snacks and then come back. It's been really crazy making a blanket. So
why were you covering the mic before, Heather? Is that why it was so low before?
You guys can see I'm making a blanket.
Now it's back to lowness, my goodness.
For my unborn baby. It's a boy. So he's due February the 15th. 311 has claimed.
So she doesn't get along with her family too well. I think her Aunt Stacy was in chat earlier. I don't know if she's still here, but she could probably give a little more context. But it's not even just her family. Like, she just fucks over anyone who does try to help her. Like, anyone who lets her stay, she tries to, like, basically squat there. She's had to be removed by law enforcement from a few places that she has overstayed her welcome at. Maybe, let's see.
17 times that they've closed our cases because it is impossible to find any assistance.
Might be the tent. They look, I think from here to here, I don't know if you can see that. I think they're normal.
The winter, so they claim every 2 weeks, they just send us a message between 3 and 5 a.m. that says your case has been closed. I save the records of all of this and I call back immediately, following. It sounds completely like fraud to me. It sounds like the federal government is allotting money to be used to keep people off of the streets, especially in the winter months. And like that federal money might be being stolen fraudulently, and these programs are not in existence. And I have been calling these programs for almost 3 years now, because I had my vehicle the first year of this unlawful displacement from my home. Um, Alexis, I have not spoken with in 7 months. It is hurting me every single day. I literally walk there every month and drop off groceries or her birthday gifts or her Christmas gifts on the doorstep of her grandma's house. And sometimes I see her grandma and her grandpa and her dad, but I never have gotten to see her. Again, it's been 7 months. So I took her to the park on May 26th. Everything was great. And her father told me at pickup she has.
So she said she didn't break in, but that would make me think that maybe she did break in. But I think she knew the guy that was staying there, but like I don't think she was supposed to be there as long as she was. I can't remember for sure. That was like David, right? David, Swede and David. And she just like stayed in the closet. But I think the housekeeper came in. I can't remember.
Has a dance recital on Thursday. Will you be there? I said I would love to be there. Thank you. Yes. Mind you, I've been the primary custodial parent of all of my children their entire lives through 2020. When not by court order, I still have a court
Oh, no one knows how she first got in. That's kind of crazy.
order that says I'm the custodial parent, but just by circumstantial issues of not having anywhere to go after being unlawfully displaced from my home, they needed to stay in their best interest in one address. Obviously, moving from place to place, having random nights in my vehicle, Airbnb every 3 to 6 days, changing and things of that nature. That's not ideal for school-age children. So they stayed with their father's families and their father this entire time, which has been awful for me. I am a mother first, full-time mom.
I thought it might have been like one of her Johns, right? Because I know like there's a couple guys that let her stay at their apartment or their extra apartment or whatever until she like rode all over the place or just like taped up vents or just other crazy stuff.
Always have been entrepreneur, self-employed, working for others, pretty much trying to always tap into any and every way to make money and be stable that I can. My entire life had been this way. So not too proud for anything. I have bachelor's degree equivalent in credits that are from 4 different schools. And basically the reason I said that is because I always say I have a bachelor's degree, which I do. I have more than enough credits. If I married a billionaire tomorrow, all he would have to do is pay off my student loans and they would release my transcripts and I'd be able to prove that I have the bachelor's degree. But because I'm poor and I can't pay to
So you don't have it then. You never got tested out.
release my transcripts, I have to tell everyone I have bachelor's degree equivalent. Otherwise, the bougie people who don't know what it means to be poor or the poor people who don't know what it means to be educated start attacking me because I don't have an actual hard copy diploma. And those attacks come in from the internet. They come into my text messaging through my phone, my business line. People write nasty, really, really fake narratives about me.
That's a good point, Angela. Yeah, if you had to pay your student loans to graduate, no one would have a degree because there's a lot of people that have degrees and they're in debt from their student loans. So, yeah.
Interactions with me that never took place. And so that's why I have been so tediously documenting every single day and every single update. Again, it's January 13th, 2024. I am 35 weeks pregnant, 34 weeks, 6 days today, so 35 weeks tomorrow. There's been a lot of really nefarious stuff with my medical care going on. I'm going to do live updates as I said, I'm being blocked from Instagram. So I'm going to be doing live updates on YouTube this afternoon. I also go live on TikTok sometimes, but I'm going to be doing them on YouTube so that I can keep them in a more, organized space.
But you didn't, unless is she live now? I don't think so. I didn't get a notification.
I'm going to organize them by kind of subjects. So I was going to do a Q&A. I decided that's way too hard. There's been way too many.
What do you mean? It's too hard to answer questions about your own life?
Attempts to target me. And what do I mean by target?
What do I mean by target? See, that's the teacher thing, where she's like talking like a teacher.
Just pick on me, for no reason. Scapegoat me.
Oh, scapegoat.
They have people on their team or whatever they refer to it as who want to steal our ideas and our opportunities. And so, again, as I've said a million times, this documentation all across social, it's the only thing that has had my back. When these people nefariously say we were somewhere that we weren't, doing something that we weren't, I have these lives and I have this proof and I have, my day in a kind of memory fashion that I can look back on and say, no, I don't, that doesn't sound true. And here's why, and I do that with a lot of different methods. That'll be another topic. So it'll be the medical journey through this pregnancy. My background, as I said, is in medical law and ethics, bachelor's degree, and then some. I've taken 4 or 5 certification courses that are not through the accredited collegiate system, that are just private through healthcare and specialty to healthcare, much like marketing courses and sales courses.
Well, that doesn't sound right.
And mechanic courses. Not all courses go through government funded colleges. So in addition to the government funded colleges, I have community college,
I think she's at 35 weeks now. 35 weeks.
AIU, and then I also have several of these 90-day to 9-month long courses where you would attend.
Is it 34? Maybe she did 35 as a typo. I thought today she hit theirs. I don't know. I might be wrong.
Every day, 5 days a week, in a full-time capacity, which is similar to an associate's degree going on a part-time basis. And again, that's medical law and ethics, new business development, things like the advancement and
either the 13th or the 15th. I know it's either the day before or the day after Valentine's Day. It's the
implementation of electronic medical records, the effect of Medicare and the United States government on making the switch from paper to electronic charting, why, how it affected patients, how it affected doctors, and how we're still paying for it in healthcare today. So besides that topic, I'm going to discuss my own personal healthcare issues in finding a provider. I'm also going to discuss some issues that I have had with oppression as well as corruption firsthand. And I'll be doing that over the next several days, starting with tonight. So that'll be on my YouTube. I am going to leave it live for approximately 1 week, and then I always make everything private after that.
Okay, we'll have a week. She didn't go live though. She did not go live.
I feel like if
let me triple check.
I want to circulate the information again at a later date, I can do so, but having it available for a short time, and if it becomes a question again, being able to recirculate that old content or use it as a starting point for new content. I believe that that's how content creators and influencers are made. We speak on subjects that we have to speak on, and we get smarter and more articulate and better at communicating the same information, just with easier to understand or more targeted verbiage. And I don't mean targeted like trying to hurt. I mean targeted in the opposite way, trying to speak your language, so to speak. So if I have someone who culturally, is an immigrant, I can speak to the subjects that they will understand and relate with.
What the fuck are you talking about?
In the way that they have also affected my life. And if I'm speaking to, politicians, I can speak in a different language that wouldn't necessarily be welcomed or understood necessarily by, a different demographic.
I don't know what she's talking about, bro. Like, why are you explaining? Like, why are you even thinking about this? When are you going to need any of this? You're in a tent every day with Xavier. Xavier's the only person you see, or the doctors, the crazy doctors that you either are convinced are trying to get you, like kill you or something, or they'll like refuse you because they're scared of you, because you're telling your following to dox them and stuff, which is pretty crazy.
People, when you're talking to politicians in the way that I choose to speak with them, it's very matter of fact.
How many aldermen have got back to you?
That's not necessarily the jargon or the articulation you want to convey or spread mainstream. Being disgusted with something that's going on politically is acceptable. And I just believe, like with everything else in life, you should go directly to the source and express your disgust to them.
The Source by Circuit City. Just go straight there. They'll hook you up with a nice TV. It'll be good to go.
And
watch Heather on the big screen.
And give them a chance to correct it before you just publicly start fear mongering and causing panic in the people around you who consume your content. So everything I do and the way that I speak is all kind of like a training day after day to get better and more effective in communication. And as I said, articulation of the truth. With
Yeah, she's living in the tent because she refuses to go to a shelter because she wants to bring her boyfriend Xavier there. They're like, no, it's a woman's shelter. And then Xavier would have to either go home to his parents or like to a shelter himself. And they're just not going to do that.
an objective, unbiased perspective. And that doesn't come overnight, you know. So it's been 4 years that I have been displaced unlawfully, as I said, from my home. I continue to document every single day, which is helping me grow in many, many ways. I'm a mom first of 3, soon to be 4. We are literally living in a tent. I'm terrified. We're 35 weeks pregnant. I have contractions if we walk more than 4 or 5 blocks at a time. But I am believing in God and believing in society, which I think we don't do enough of, is understanding that while we can have strong faith in God and we should also use each other as resources to lift each other up, you know, and reel each other into our true beliefs, remind each other of what we do believe in, and use the theory of one love, which is if you were in the opposite position, if you were the person that you're dealing with, what would you want done for you? So I'll be elaborating on all of those subjects and more on YouTube. You guys check in. It's, I think, Coco Chanel, CHANELLEYSL. The same on TikTok, the same on Instagram.
We got 1 hour of the day left. I don't think we're going to get that.
As I said, Instagram is preventing my lives this week for whatever reason.
Because you got reported for something. I don't know what you did. What did you do?
So we're moving it over to TikTok and YouTube. And we'll see you guys later.
Bum. All right, I want to show you guys the last story she did here. And then what are we at? An hour and a half.
You guys, I just got back from running to 7-Eleven, freezing. Cannot feel my legs. Couldn't even wait to heat up ramen. I was like, whatever, I'll have cupcakes for lunch. I have to say thank you. We just got back and I checked my Cash App balance, and you guys are so sweet. At least 10 or 20 of you have donated in amounts ranging from $1 to $40. And I have enough for a hotel room on Monday when it's supposed to be 0 degrees outside. So
Monday? Should probably go now. I mean, the snow is pretty crazy. There was a snow thunderstorm happening or something. I was watching weather videos for whatever reason. I don't know how I got there, but this guy was like, "Oh my god!" He was freaking out about it. He was super happy. The meteorologist. Oh, I can say that word. So yeah, you should get a hotel now.
So I want to thank you guys, and maybe even Tuesday. So thank you guys so much. This is going to be my first time indoors sleeping in a bed since February.
20 or 10 to 20 people sent her $40 or something, apparently, supposedly.
15th of 2023.
Maybe it was Xavier's parents.
Thank you so much. I am so grateful beyond words. Just thank you so much. Like, you guys don't understand. I literally told Xavier on our way back from 7-Eleven, I was like, babe, I'm afraid we're going to die. I wasn't smiling. I didn't have this big smile on my face. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I told him, I think we're going to, if no one helps us, we're going to die out here. Like, it's going to be 0 degrees. We're not Alaskans or Russians or Antarcticans or anything like that. We don't even have boots. We just have gym shoes.
We don't even have boobs? No, they just have boots. But who is Jen Shah?
Shoes and like leggings from Walgreens. Like,
oh yeah, she censors herself now sometimes, which is weird.
You guys don't understand. I was really legitimately afraid of what we were going to do, and that means so much to me. I'm so grateful. The face is because I'm trying not to cry while also still smiling and being hormonal and pregnant. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you.
Well, that's it. That was the last stories she did. So she's getting a hotel on Monday. I thought she was getting one today. Maybe not. I don't know. So I don't know what she's doing now. She did not. You think it's fake? You guys don't think she's telling the truth? If she did get money, I would assume they just guilt tripped Xavier's parents into paying for a hotel because, yeah, it's like the middle of winter now and she's pregnant and it's still Xavier's kid too, right? So I don't know. But yeah, $1 to $40, 20 people. So what's 20? We'll cut the difference, right? 1 to 40. So the average would be $20. Times, you said what, 20 people? 20 times 20 would be, I don't fucking know. What is 20 times 20? Hey Siri, what's 20 times 20? It should be like 4,000, 400. Oh, hold on. 400. Wait, no. Hey Siri, what's 20 times 20? It's 400. Okay, why did I think it was 4,000? Because 20 times 2 would be 40. Okay, and it'd be 400. yeah, I can do math. I swear to God, I can do math on a good day. Is that enough for a hotel? I mean, I guess so. Maybe for one night. I don't know Chicago pricing or anything like that, so I can't say. I don't know for sure. I don't know, guys. Yeah, she was on the show. Love After Lockup. And that's that date. Hello, Debbie. How you doing tonight? Where's Maria? I thought Maria would be here because I think she was like, "Can you do a stream today?" And I wasn't planning to until Scapegoat got those live streams. So yeah, super appreciate them. Go check them out. Their link is in the description for their TikTok. And what we got? This is the Coco Chanel podcast. I don't know how much we're gonna get through. I really hope that there's no buzzing, fuzzing, or wasn't. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy go crazy. Is here? Oh, okay, that's good. I don't see some people sometimes. I didn't see the super chats, which actually kind of bothers me because it should have popped up. Wait a minute. Did I get this one? I did get this one. Never mind. Okay, I'm tripping. That's okay. Let's see. So this was what, like 9 months ago, I think. Maybe 8, maybe 6. But this was her podcast that was supposed to have Xavier on, I thought too, right? I thought.
What's going on, guys? This is Heather Coco Senza, Coco Chanel, Heather Gillespie here for episode 4.
I don't hear any high pitched noise. To be fair, I haven't watched Love After Lockup. I've only seen Smitten Kitten's most favorite moments from it, and that's it. I miss Smitten Kitten. I hope she's doing well.
Yeah, episode 4. And that includes the little 3.5 episode bonus from the other day. I want to welcome you guys to the show. We're at the library, so if you hear library noises, that would be why.
Library noises. Like people flipping pages through books. Maybe someone's shhing someone. I don't know. Library noises.
Xavier and I are just here doing some fashion research. We've been really super interested in draping lately. I don't know if you guys are into fashion, but just like making something from nothing, because we don't have a lot of clothes with us on the road out here, living like savages as we've been. And we're going to get into details about what I mean by living as a savage. But we've got to get there. I've got to catch you up, which is why I said the first season, approximately 12 to 15 webisode podcast episodes, are going to be spent getting you guys caught up on how we got here.
I mean, like, for having a headache. This is her library voice without the high pitched fucking. Where was she before? Not the laundromat. She was in a grocery store charging her phone, I think, and there was this like, oh, Mamma Mia, that sound drove me nuts.
Now, when you're coming from a place of love, right, you're listening with an open mind, and that's all that I can really afford to have here with me. If you guys are not listening from a place of love, you should probably just tune out. On the previous episodes, we got to the point where Dylan had just gotten released from prison. I waited for him 5 years after being coerced and groomed into sex work, with both positive and many negative experiences.
What do you mean positive experience? That's a very interesting choice of words.
Out of that situation. I was begging for help. I was suicidal. I was being the best mother I could be to all three of my children.
Yeah, it's weird hearing her say all of this shit in the podcast voice. I've never heard this from Heather. Usually she's like yelling over the, what is it, the hair dryer, or yeah, like in the grocery store,
And my day typically consisted of
the laundromat.
taking care of the kids, getting them to school, feeding them, or getting them after they got out of school. My ex's parents helped out a lot with transportation. But other than that, it was me alone in the home. So I would talk to Dylan 4 or 5 hours a day on the phone from prison. And this is for a 4.5, almost 5 year period. I would pick up the kids. I would cook dinner. I would help them with homework, give them a shower, clean the house. And then I would get back to work on my online businesses, on my campaigning, on my marketing, on my content creation, on sales, on business relationships and networking, on business.
I mean, let's see how many subs she has. Is her channel monetized? I mean, Letitia had her channel monetized, and I know like other problematic people make money off of their controversies and stuff. Like I don't know who Amber Reed is. I think that's one. Foodie Beauty like makes money off of her shit, and she's just basically like a controversial figure. Chris Chan would be a great example as well. I think Mud Pit was telling me that they were making like $2,000 a stream. She has 2,000 subs. I'd assume that she should have the watch time like in hours to like, but if she doesn't have like any, does she have ID? There must be something that's like preventing her. I know James doesn't monetize anything because he's stateless. He doesn't have ID. So I don't know if it's maybe something like that, like where it's Smitten Kitten. How you doing? Yeah, I was like, hey, I miss Smitten Kitten. I haven't seen her in a while. And now I forget what I was saying. Oh, she should be monetized. I don't know if she's not monetized, it has to be for some nefarious reason. And if so, I do not know. I do not know what it would be. Yeah, that's a good question.
New business development, and that looked like a lot of different types of work, whether that was shooting content or, actually getting to know my customer. For the entire time he was away, my only, concern was him, the children, which is how it's always been. The kids have always been, my first and foremost concern since the day they were born. But it was him, my husband, so Dylan, my husband, my children, and my work. I worked out
Which was the segs work, right?
a lot. I ate as healthy as I possibly could. Definitely wasn't perfect, but that was what my life looked like. If I left the house, it was either to pick up the kids, pick up some money, or go to the grocery store. It was just work, family, and home life. So this savage living that we're actually being forced to endure during this current time is brand new to me. And I have been through a lot of things in my adolescence. Homelessness for more than a week is not one of them. And when I say homelessness, I mean like I had friends, I had contact via phone, I had options. I just hadn't connected the dots yet. What they're putting me through now is they're blatantly isolating me from anyone who could or would help me. And that's a different set of circumstances. So
did they butter your tooth out? Everything bagel.
let's go back. I think we left off. Dylan had come home from prison. My apartment had just been flooded 2 times. So, right before Dylan got out, it seemed like my whole entire life fell apart. I had my own home. It was me and my 3 children who lived there. They lived with me 4 or 5 days a week, and then they'd go with their dad 2 or 3 days a week max.
You gotta have it with like herb and garlic cream cheese if you're doing everything bagels. Toasted with herb and garlic. That's like a Tim Hortons Canadian thing.
So they were mostly with me, 80 to 90% of the time of their lives. And it felt good. I enjoyed being kind of a single parent. I had a significant other to talk to things, to talk to about things, parenting topics and whatnot. And I also had, friends and family, both from the sides of my children's fathers, as well as my family, to discuss parenting. But just having my own space, my own life, my own existence, it just felt fantastic. Ever since I was a little girl, I kind of struggled to feel like I was in the right place when I was with my own family. And that doesn't mean I don't love them. I do, tremendously. And I miss them so, so, so very much. But I just never really felt fully, like I belong, like kind of like, if I was a child being raised by lions, you feel
Is she talking about like her fucking childhood here, or is she talking about when she was with Dylan and the kids? And like she has what, two other baby daddies, right? Is she talking about those times? She just felt like a kid being raised by lions.
the love, but you just know
Wouldn't she be the lion being raised by humans?
something's different, right? So it was just kind of like that. And having my own children and then my own home, it made a different dynamic. There was a sense of accepting and belonging, even if it was just the physical environment that created it, and no one actually telling me or making me feel that way. So having my own physical environment where I felt safe, accepted, protected from the elements and all these things, it's it's necessary. It's necessary for everyone. It's most definitely necessary for me. And without it, I'm still accomplishing things, but I'm in an excruciating amount of pain while doing so, and it's happening at a snail's pace. I could have done, what I've done, what Xavier and I have done together has been extremely hard work. Not so much because it's hard, but because we're like going through absolute hell while also doing it. So you don't really meet or hear of things like that. Usually, when you hear of these types of projects, well, myself personally, I would think like fancy production, tons of help. It's just him and I right now.
Okay, the fancy projects where you put like a leaf on your head, or I don't know, you go like this on the street with a bunch of graffiti around you, or you walk up to a church and bang on the door, and then we'll turn around and say, "Okay, Xavier, cut." Those extravagant projects that you think are done by professionals.
So it's two of us doing all of this: the podcasting, the webisodes, the think tanks, the all of that.
Our own catering.
We have. What'd you say, babe?
Our own catering.
Oh, he said our own catering. That too. So once we can develop this to a point where we can expand the team in a more hands-on way, I know it's just going to take off and fly through the roof. We've got a lot of good stuff to say and share, and it's just a very exciting time for us at GoPro Solo. Frustrating, but also exciting.
She's gotta be quiet. She's in the library. They might tell her to get out. We might hear some library noises, whatever that is.
So back to that, I just really, really want to set the tone that like this relationship with Dylan, this relationship prior to meeting Xavier.
Yeah, wasn't the trailer like in music that was like bah, 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 and it's just like them walking through a mall homeless, and like sitting in an alleyway and stuff. That's the trailer for it, right?
It was based on loyalty and trust and love and dedication, and that combined with coercion and grooming is what made it so dangerous. At the end, there was a time when I was so blinded and in such a fog that I seriously felt like there was nothing I would not do for this man. Even past my boundaries. And we discussed this briefly in the last podcast. I knew I was so uncomfortable with so many things. I just felt like I was bad.
It's photo shoots for like, I guess she sees them as, I don't know, because normally like a photo shoot, yeah, you'd be for a product and you'd be getting paid for it, but she's her own product, right? So it's just like, oh, look, I don't know how this would get pushed in the algorithm. Oh, like a person that looks like a tree. Let's see what they're about. Oh my God, they're homeless. I should just give them money. I think that's what it's for. I think that's her thought process, or she just wants to play dress up because she's like a kind of like a kid. I don't know.
Or I was not a good wife if I didn't do them anyway. My hopes for when he came home, are what he communicated. When we talk about
Oh, she's still working on the coffee table book, Smitten Kitten. I'm stoked for it. It needs to come out. And this song, she better not forget about her song.
4 to 5 to 6 30-minute conversations a day on a prison phone, and promises are being made, that's 3 hours a day. If I'm awake 12 hours of the day and 3 hours of a 12-hour period are spent, being told I'm going to be taken care of for the rest of my life, and that I'm the best thing ever, and how much he loves me, well, I'm going to start to believe that, whether it's me actually believing it or me being brainwashed into believing it. Anything you hear repeatedly, you begin to believe, especially.
She was a prison wife, I think, yeah, they never got married, right?
Especially when it's 3-4 hours a day, right? So that's 25% of my awake time. If I follow Xavier around and for 3 hours a day, I tell him I'm getting us a mansion, I have the funding to do so.
Wait, are you telling Xavier this? Is Xavier telling you this?
We're starting a production company. He's going to believe it because I'm monopolizing 25% of his energy and mental capacity to make him hear. If he does not believe, hearing is different than believing, but it all begins with hearing. Once you hear, you can listen, and once you listen, you can believe, right? So they're all stages of innocent coercion, persuasion, but that's what they are nonetheless. I like to use the words coercion and persuasion more specifically when I'm talking about something predatory. I feel like they have more of a predatory undertone. So I'll use persuasive when it comes to what we're discussing. But anytime, that you're trying to change the opinion of someone or influence the opinion of someone, those words apply, and you have to be careful. Xavier and I just came up with a rule recently. It was ask me twice. If I still say no, just stop asking.
Why can't it just be like the first time? Ask me if I say no the first time, just ask me again. And then if I say no the second time, then just stop asking me. Okay. Oh, okay.
It shouldn't have to be something that we say over and over to our partner or to anyone. But, and I recommend this for anyone who's had difficulty with border boundary drawing, or standing up for yourself. Have that 2-3 strikes you're out rule where you give 2 chances to have your, it's not an opinion.
I think it's pineapples. I think that's what she said it was.
What's the word I'm looking for? Your stance, your position, be heard. And that's it. If there has to be a third time saying no, remove yourself. And I, for one, completely understand that we don't always have, the ability to remove ourselves physically, but you can remove yourself mentally. And whether that's humming, whether that's putting in your headphones,
whether that's just banging out on the drums, on the drum keyboard,
that's getting lost in a novel. We don't all have the same resources, but we can all get lost, right? We can all get lost. Maybe not our physical bodies, but most definitely our minds. And sometimes that's what we need, just to disengage, and change your focus. But poor Xavier, right? And Xavier could have been anyone. He could have been John. He could have been Bob. He could have been, Jose. He could have been anyone. It just so happened to be him who chose to invest into a relationship with me, who chose to, be sitting here and living through this time with me. But poor him, right?
It doesn't put you, it's going to put me to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep tonight. I'm just going to hear this fucking Heather library voice in my head.
I
narrating my dreams, And then he went to the cabinet and got, I don't know. I don't really dream much.
have all of these fears, and I'm terrified to love this man because of how awful, and how blinded I was from loving the last one. So we have a lot of work to do, and this relationship is definitely going to be an uphill battle. But we're here for it, and we're excited to bring you guys along on the journey as well. Yeah, for sure. I love you. I love you too.
Ah, that's wholesome. Homeless people loving each other in the library. That's what I bring you guys on this channel.
So yeah, Dylan and I were like super in love his entire prison sentence.
We're super in love, guys, okay?
About 3/4 of the way through, I started super, super duper hating and resenting him, because that was when I was able to pull my head out of the clouds and realize that maybe
this person who I'm running their illegal operations for, because I'm a pick-me girl, and wanted to be on a reality TV show, and that's why I pitched it. I realized maybe that's not the best choice for me or my kids that I'm sure I was thinking of while I made these decisions. That I put them at the forefront of my mind all the time. Except Heather Gillespie. I am a freaking angel, guys. Yeah, I'm sure it all went down like that.
Just maybe my original stance on monogamy was actually what I truly need and believe. And maybe I allowed him or fell victim or wasn't strong enough to be firm in my own belief system. And I blamed him entirely for pushing me and coercing me, back into that whole sexy scene. I wanted to just be with him, and he knew that.
The sexy scene.
But he was anything other than supportive of that. It's just the way he did it. He was never like, no, babe, I don't like that. He was like, I only want
TD's supposed dream was very classy.
to be with you, and I want no one to ever touch you. And as soon as I get home, no one is ever going to touch you again. You're all mine forever. And things of this nature playing into, a person's need.
Yeah, she must have been in the sexy scene sometime before, right?
To believe. That's one of the 48 laws of power. If you're not familiar with that book, I'll be referencing it a lot over the podcast because Dylan lived his life by those laws. And there are a lot of them that on the coming out of being coerced and brainwashed and groomed and extorted and used as a utensil, on the out side of that whole experience, I can look, at it, and how they say hindsight is 2020. Well, for me, it might not be 2020. I'm still unclear on a lot, but there's a lot that, is perfectly clear.
$2? That's not a lot. I don't know. I'm trying to think like, would I would I give out dick pics for $2? I don't think so. $2. Mamma mia.
And a lot of these lessons and teachings from the 48 laws of power, I never in a million years could have identified him using in real time. But when I talk about it out loud to someone else, or I try to make sense of it now, it's so easy. I'm like, oh my God.
This is I'm not an idiot. I don't make poor decisions. It's the 48 laws of power. I was being controlled.
Play into people's need to believe. Oh my God, look, he's doing fear mongering. And it's weird because you start to be able to see these abusive behaviors or manipulative behaviors. But again, in real time, it takes a whole lot of understanding and work and studying. So that's that. Basically went from me being resentful to him, to the love just not really being there in the way that we felt it.
I hope her kids don't know that. I mean, it must be hard enough for kids to know that their mom is homeless and shows up every month to remind them of it and cause some kind of scene and shit, right? But again, they're getting old too. I think she keeps saying her oldest is almost out of high school, so I'm sure she's Googled her mom's name out of curiosity, and seen stuff, right? So I don't know. I hope not, though.
I could tell he loved me, and I know he knew that I loved him, but his actions, whether they were his fault or not, I don't know, they didn't make me feel loved. and I'm sure that the same is true vice versa. So he's on parole. He starts using drugs again, and I'm not a drug user. I'm a recreational drug trier.
A recreational drug trier, but I don't use them, okay? Every drug I've only done once. I'm just sampling, all right? I'm not buying anything. I'm not taking anything home. I'm just sampling.
But I'm not a drug user or, a habitual drug, user or abuser. And he is. He has a history of addiction. So I was so scared when I found out that he was, back using drugs again. And I, again, struggled with that whole, what is my role in this man's life? I've been his wife for the past 5 years. We have a prenuptial agreement. We, requested and petitioned the chaplain at the IDOC hundreds of times for the marriage to go through and filled out all the paperwork. But now I'm feeling him actively withdrawing from this relationship and doing things that I wouldn't want my husband to do. I tried to wife him. I tried to mother him. I tried to girlfriend him. I tried to friend him.
Keyword is tried there, which means I don't like that you weren't husband and wife then, Mrs. Smith.
What I mean by that, by mother, I gave him the response similar to the one his mother would given him.
I tried to mother him. I tried to friend zone him. I tried to wife him. I tried to girlfriend him, and nothing worked, guys. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
Dylan, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you crazy? Why are you doing that?
And now she's speaking right to him again. You gotta get Dylan out of your fucking mind. Poor Dylan. I'm not poor Dylan. I mean, Dylan kind of deserves what he gets, all right? Dylan's no fucking prize himself.
You need to stop. Do you need to go to rehab? I'm calling your parole officer. I wifed him. I tried to just first be understanding and sit with him and say, okay, I'm not going to say anything, but this needs to stop, And then once he started becoming physical, I had no choice but to call. I tried to girlfriend him, not caring about anything, not asking questions and pretending like I didn't know, and just trying to live life while it was going on. And I tried to best friend him, no judgment, even participate at times. Whatever I could do to show him that I was there to support him into his sobriety, I genuinely tried to do, but none of it worked. And the situation just began to grow increasingly physically violent from him to me. The only thing I ever did to him was I threw a vase at him, not at him, but in his general direction.
Dude, why are you throwing vases at people?
That didn't hit him. But after doing that, and I'm sitting there looking at the glass on the floor, I had never done that before. I had argued with men before. We had even had little scuffles, like, them holding me down or whatever, not regularly, but before. I had never destroyed any of my own property as a result of, a man making me angry or harming me. And I'm sitting there on my bed just thinking, I am not okay. And I had already been screaming and crying for help, saying I am not okay at the top of my lungs for 2-3 years. But I truly was just unable to even keep going at that point. So
that's why I threw the vase. I mean, why? I guess it's Dylan's fault she threw the vase. We're not going to get any other context other than that. Very vague.
It was a tremendous relationship in my life. I'll never forget it. And it's the beginning of the preceding.
Wouldn't it be a plot twist if Xavier was just like a super fan of Dylan, actually, from Love After Lockup? And he's like, I love that she was with Dylan. That'd be some fucking weird ass shit. That'd be weird as shit. And it makes sense why he puts up with her talking about him all the damn fucking time, right? Maybe he's even like putting thoughts like, did you see the Vine emails? He's out, he's in, he's out, he's in.
What's the word for coming up? It was the beginning of this period of my life, this period of being harassed, stalked, chased, robbed, beaten, abused, sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, targeted. it opened the door to this chapter, and that's why I always say all of the abuse that I've gone through begins and ends with Dylan. But it's a transformation from me being on the forefront of running my own businesses, which is all still happening, to me having to go through being on the forefront of running my own businesses and doing everything I've been doing, while also mitigating being stalked, harassed, beaten, raped, abused, followed, parenting from afar, being separated from my children since 2020, with the exception of a few.
Well, especially since she keeps getting pregnant and stretching that shit out. The Dylan stomach tattoo. Mamma mia.
Visits and phone calls has been incredibly painful. And I'm quite frankly lucky that I escaped that situation with my life, but there's a lot of liability. I went to the court and still go to the court. I went to the police and still go to law enforcement. I've not been assisted. So if you guys look at my socials or you've been following, all of this is all on there. And I apologize. I'm extremely exhausted. I've slept about a grand total of 6-7 hours over the last 4 days now.
I was gonna say, if it was just one day, that's not that bad.
And it's been interrupted sleep, up every hour or two, just very uncomfortable. So in case you hear that in my voice, that's what's going on. But this is episode 4. I'm really happy that we're, getting here. I anticipate another 8 episodes that we'll discuss and touch on the previous 4 years of my life, and how we got here to where we are.
I mean, like, we shouldn't even know about her ass cheeks, but she posts them. She's, I'm assuming, proud of them.
Which is, basically, like I said, separated from my children.
And then there's ghosts. There's ghosts that look at Heather's ass and Xavier gets mad at him. I don't know if you've seen. I don't think you've seen that yet. I think Is this your first time seeing Heather? I think so, right?
I've spent 90% of my time living in Airbnbs over the past 4 years. The other 10% outside on the street, homeless. And when I say Airbnb, I mean Airbnb or like renting a room from a friend or, someone. But it's been rough, it's been very rough. They destroyed my vehicle. I had gotten my first car about a year before Dylan came home. I took out an auto loan for, I think I financed $14,000 a month after making my final payment. And while the car was parked in a gated community, I got keyed. Then they began destroying the vehicle mechanically until it just wouldn't run anymore. So I basically lost everything as a result of the relationship and the abuse. And that's what contributed to my situation being what it is today. Even that, I am a model, I am a producer, I am a medical professional, an administrative professional. All the things that I am exclude me from the things they're trying to make me be now.
Is that what she said? I kind of tuned her out if I don't have something to look at. I don't think she paid $14K for anything.
So what do I mean by that? They want so bad for me to be quote unquote homeless and, desolate and indigent and all of these things. But I could never be those things because the things that I am cancel.
I mean, there's a lot of lore. It's she does recycle the same stuff a lot, but she's a pretty interesting character. I'll say that.
Those things out. I could never be dumb because I'm smart. I could never be, alone because I walk in faith.
See, like, I like her energy, but I don't like her principles or her morals or the way she positions things, because it's, in her own words, nefarious and just no good. So I wish she could get her shit together, and then I'd be like, look, she turned her life around. I don't think it'll ever happen. But if it does, I'll be like, good for you, Heather. Good for you. Again, I don't think it'll happen.
I can never be, homeless because I live in my body and my body lives in Chicago and Chicago lives in the world, right? So
yeah, that's one way to look at it for sure. I thought she was gonna say in the tent, but in Chicago. Yeah.
It changes. You have to start thinking like, esoterically about everything in life. Otherwise, they just shit all over you, and you're left sitting there. Wow, I'm just this homeless piece of shit who just fell in love with this guy on parole, got beaten, raped, abused, robbed, separated from her children, and then, left outside to be homeless and, dirty and degraded and dehumanized. So you can't accept that, or you can, but you're not going to get very far accepting that. When the general
I mean, you got to live in reality, though. How are you going to get out of this predicament you're in? If you can't just be like, I refuse to accept that I'm here. I mean, you're here. It's reality.
public or society or the internet or the gossip columns want to shit on you, you have to pull hard to not shit on yourself. You have to reframe reality in a way that isn't a lie, in a way that makes you continue to have the will to live. Because at the end of the day, I could take myself out. Who am I?
That's a good question. I don't know the last time they showered. The last time I seen them shower was to walk into California that I never got to. And because like they needed donations for Xavier to shower because he smelled really bad. I have not seen or heard them mention a shower since. Like she's kicked out of the gyms, right? That's a good question. Maybe she just like does homeless showers in the washrooms.
Really hurting? You think these bloggers give a fuck? No, they're the ones telling me, Heather, we won't stop bothering you until you kill yourself. Kill yourself, bitch. You're worthless. Kill yourself.
Who? The bloggers? The vloggers? We better not fall into that category. I don't know who she's talking about here.
So they clearly don't care if I die.
Because I just said, I haven't listened to this before, and I just said that if she got her shit together, like I'd be rooting for her and I'd be like, good job. So like that, that Heather.
My children would probably be affected pretty negatively. My friends and family, the ones who care about me, I'm sure they'd be pretty affected, right? So you reframe your reality and you make it match who you are, and then you eliminate all of the pieces about it that make you who you are not. I have a home. My home is with my children. My home is wherever they are. I've always had my own physical space. Someone took it away from me, and I am waiting and have been waiting, as well as taking active steps at resolution, for someone to intervene and assist me at resolving these issues. So take your situation and every single player who contributed to where you're at today. Thank them. Reframe it in a way that makes you feel good. Heather, you're
This is like just steps on how to be delusional. And every player is like it's like the NBA here.
homeless. That doesn't make me feel good. You know what makes me feel good? Heather, you are a fucking phenomenal statement model. You are so creative. You are a phenomenal writer. You are so articulate. You're
So articulate that you can't get anyone to listen to you.
open-minded. You're kind. You're compassionate. You're a great mother.
You're living in a tent and you can't see your kids. Yeah, this is just how to live in delusion, guys. I don't think this is good advice. I don't know if you follow these steps. I mean, I was gonna say maybe we can try and see what the outcomes are, but I don't think that they'll be good.
We are so grateful to have this time of upheaval where we don't have a permanent physical structure that we're living in to hold us down. We are being forced to be creative every single day. We are being forced to get to know different areas of the city and be innovative with our time. You know why? Because there's a bigger calling for you, because you're birthing an elephant. The
What?
production company you've always wanted, that you've been working on for the past 8 years, guess what? Now there's a podcast.
Okay, this is like that's crazy that she thinks that this is some kind of the production company. What in what other story? What coming up story do you hear of like a homeless person starting a fucking production company? Maybe homeless people that become actors, sure. What the fuck is she talking about? This is a crazy. This would be a good like sitcom movie or something. Just a homeless person like, I'm gonna start my production company. What's the production company about? I don't know. It's me begging for money.
Now there are webisodes drafted. Now there are 300 or 400 pages of a novel written. Now we're in talks of collaborations with other people.
Who are the other people?
I didn't need to be homeless for all those things to happen.
And what happened to all of these? There's no webisodes. Did we ever meet any of the other people?
Like I said, those things were happening when I was in my home. But it is what it is. There are people responsible and it's wrong. Holding on to that doesn't propel me forward. Holding on to that keeps me back there with them. So from a production standpoint, as Xavier likes to say, we are out here. And
that's what Xavier likes to say. From a production standpoint, Heather, we're out here.
And we are doing our absolute best to use our new circumstantial, environmental changes to our situation to propel us forward rather than pull us back down into the quicksand. And it's hard and it's unpleasant. I've spent the past 30 days now without a bed, sleeping in random places that are not made for sleeping. I strongly dislike it. Hate would be an accurate word, but I try not to use that word. And I miss my children terribly. But we're not going and we're not slowing down. So photo shoots every week. My personal goals are 3 to 5 sets of photos every week that describe how I'm feeling visually.
So like a tree, like a mermaid. They say be water.
At least one new book a week, actively reading and contributing to developing, myself intellectually.
She's a very busy lady. All right, Janice? Very busy. So busy that none of her things bring her any money in at all.
Really, as I've been staying active.
Well, I guess the people that feel bad for her, there's that, but I think she could even get better at that.
Designing at least 2 custom workouts a week, as well as all of the cardio and crunches and muscle and strength training, even if it means going into Target and doing a lift with their weights, making a way any and every way, every single day. That's the name of the game. So anyways, I love you guys. That was episode 4. I hope that you guys can follow my ADHD template. I like to discuss things this way. It's just the way my mind works. And I hope that there are people out there who can get it because I know it's not the easiest or most sequential conversation. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back with episode 5. I can't even say next week because this week alone we've gotten 4 episodes and a 3.5 out. Go us. Xavier, do you want to say bye?
Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in.
Louder.
Thank you for tuning in.
You're in the library. You can't be that loud.
And we're staying busy.
All right, you guys.
Thank you for tuning in and staying busy.
Projects.
Tons of projects. We love you guys. We'll check in later.
Okay. All right. So that's it, guys. That is the bonus Heather stream. I'm hungry. I gotta go eat something. But thank you all for coming out. There's more people than I thought there'd be. This is kind of impromptu. I wasn't planning on doing this. But like I said before, Scapegoat caught the lives, and you should go give them a follow in the description below. And Mina no. Or Minbao. I'm going away. I'm going away. But I will be back tomorrow, probably. I usually either take Sunday or Monday off, but I'm trying not to take any days off, to be honest. So I'll probably be back tomorrow. I think we're supposed to do, I think Soroka Sundays is like what I've been doing. So like the origins for him. Or like Gala, because I did the Gala Sisters last Saturday. I feel like I did those guys recently though too. But I'll figure something out. There's always something with the galas, But I'll see you guys all tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the Monday. And yeah, have a great night. Have a great weekend, guys. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Take care.